There
It
we
didn't go
go.
live yet. Here we go.
It is broadcast live. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. It was just weird. It's weird.
Okay, I'm getting some technical difficulties. Hold on, let's try this again. There we go. Hey, welcome to Bearsbanter. My name is Bernard Muhammad. Tonight we have Keith Flournoy and Guy Moore. Jay
Hey,
Beasley won't be on tonight. Jay Beasley is still on his college tour. I think he's thinking about enrolling in Ohio State.
hey, be a good
And
university.
Tammy, I
Maybe.
don't believe is going to be able
Now, knowing Jay, he'd be trying to play.
to. Hey, Jay trying to be a walk-on.
Well, to give you
Hey, you
guys a
coming
little
on a
slight
little early.
update, December Walker just returned the ball 60 yards, dude. We on like the 45.
Okay, I like it.
Oh, wow. Wow. So the
Webster.
Bears are winning right
Yeah.
now, what,
Okay.
24 to 3? Is that what the score
Yep.
is? 24 to 3?
Okay.
Okay. Say hey, y'all, for those who may end up watching this broadcast later on and not the live broadcast, we came on a little bit earlier than when the game ended because of the way this game is going. It's no reason really to wait to the end of the game. The Bears are winning right now 24 to 3, have pretty much dominated most of the game. With that said, hey, Plank, what's going on in this game? Was it enough to take away from this game?
I think so. I think we see some trends that are probably going to do a good job carrying forward. At least I hope so. We can see that they're competitive, that they're paying attention to detail, and they're actually, they're out there. They're not making these big major mistakes, even though you can see that they're not where we need to be as a finished product. They're still competing. So I mean, this reminds me of the old Bears that in the 70s, 77, 78, where they couldn't really play. They had a terrible team, but the team that played the Bears the next week always had half of their team on the injured reserve. So, I kind of, there's something to be said for playing hard and focusing on the fundamentals. Very few penalties. I like where we're going.
Okay, you like where we're going. Hey,
Oh
Guy,
yeah.
what are you taking away from this game so far?
The objective to rebuilding a team from what we had last year is to take the fundamentals that you learn and keep doing them repetitively. Something that I'm seeing right now, it's a completely different team. I don't care what anyone says. You got guys flying to the ball. Like I said last week, you got 4 or 5 guys. It's still holding up. Same thing on defense. Guys are lively. Guys are enthused because one, they know they're trying to build something different. And the coach is holding guys accountable. And as I told you guys off the field, it's kind of nice to see a guy who's a head coach who allows his offense, defense, special teams coaches to do their job without interference. You don't have any there's nothing about Eberflus that I see that has micromanage or narcissists in it. I mean, he's like, I see why a lot of players, when they were talking about this guy, uh, how they hold him in a very high regard. He's very detailed oriented. And most importantly, something that he does that I really like is he treats his players like men. Can't ask for anything else. These guys are doing pretty good, and I love what I see so far.
Hey,
You and
hey,
me
hey,
both.
what's going on, Felicia?
Hey,
Classmate
Hey,
Felicia Harper
Felicia,
is
Felicia.
joining us tonight.
what's up?
Hey, Felicia, welcome to Bears Banner. We,
All right.
this may be
Swoop.
Felicia's first time tuning in. I'm not sure, but thank you so much. Hey, Guy, you mentioned something in reference to Coach Flus. And one thing you notice a lot of times with first head time coaches, they usually like to be the signal caller for whatever side of the ball that their specialties on. And I like the fact that Coach Flus actually is allowing the defensive coach to call his game, and he's letting the offensive coach call his game. But anyway, from watching this game, one of the things I love early on was there seemed to be a plan. I know Eric said it last week when he was on. There seemed to be an offensive plan to get the ball out of Justin Fields' hands quick, and also I like what I'm saying with consistency with the Bears running the ball. I think the Bears going to be real deep in the run game. Any other thoughts on the running game that you saw tonight?
Man, I'll tell you right now, was it a 3rd and 8 or one of those that they ran it and they got the first down? I was shocked. But something else, the most, I think a lot of times what happens is people want to use rocket science to run plays in football teams. He's on the KISS level, keep it simple, stupid. You ever notice, you see now, what happens is when you look at Justin Fields, you look at Simeon, and you look at Peterman, all 3 quarterbacks are completely different quarterbacks. The offense is entirely the same. This dude was getting pressure. What does he do? Dump it off to the tight end or dump it off to the halfback. Simple stuff. It doesn't have to be exotic. It can just be simple. And when you kind of buy into a system, and especially a system that's shown through the years, I mean, as far as what they're doing, it works throughout the years, and you follow it, you get results. I mean, it's kind of interesting, and I know it's preseason, but it's a great thing to actually watch some guys execute offense and to see what an offense is supposed to look like. We used to talk about this last year. We were like, why is it that we look around the league and these guys run offenses that don't look like they're struggling, but when we run offenses, it look like some like Ringling Brothers stuff? Totally different offense this year. Totally different
we got
regime.
rid of that jet sweep, didn't we?
Yeah, we got rid of the sweep. But I think if we run the jet sweep this year, we're going to get about 6 yards a pop, though, because it ain't going to be something that's going to happen 37 times a game. It's going to be like, a wrinkle, so to speak.
Yeah, Bernard, I noticed today I was actually watching a little bit more about Justin Fields, and it seems like, he's getting better. He's a tremendous athlete. He's a very smart individual, but it still seems like he's pressing. So every play he wants to score a touchdown, and if he doesn't, he kind of gets a little disappointed. So I was looking at the difference between him running the team with the first team versus Simeon, and Simeon had the same plays or some of the same players. He just took a slower pace, like I know it's going to be okay, and I'm going to play like I know it's going to be okay. Versus it feels like Justin Fields is just rushing just a little bit. His numbers look good. He looked good, but I always worry about him when he runs because it looks like he's a little bit awkward when he's trying to do his scrambles right before taking a hit. So that's something we might want to take a look at and see how he progresses throughout the system.
Yeah, you know what though, Plank? Real talk.
Plank,
it's a difference between.
He is.
I'm sorry.
There must be a delay.
I was gonna say, Plank, maybe a delay going on. There is at times with Justin last year and right now I still see is he doesn't recognize pocket movement from pocket pressure. The pocket is going to move. There's people who are going to be moving around you, right? You step up, evade the pressure, and it kind of seems at times he still has a little like happy feet a little bit, right? And then he seems a little undecisive a little bit. Like when he feels that pressure, it's almost like he started patting his feet and he wants to run, but then he doesn't know if he wants to run. Then he wants to throw, but he doesn't know if he wants to throw. Make a decision.
But you know what though? Oh, they just scored again, 27-3. But you know what though, man? I call it the Jay Cutler syndrome. Just imagine you walk past somebody's house, they don't have a gate, and they got a pit bull. You got to walk past this house every day for a year or two. Every time you walk by, it's like, oh my God, here come the pit bull. When they install a 6-foot fence, don't matter if that pit bull can't get to that fence. It's always going to be in your mind that you remember that pit bull getting out. I think Justin Fields' problem, too, is getting sacked 3,000 times last year. He's still kind of shell-shocked on it. But then, too, he sort of gets a little happier in the fact that, okay, I've got some blocking here. And I think he's really overthinking a lot of things. It's like one of the great things is they shortened up his throwing motion, which is great. But now what they need to do is just kind of just make him, like you say, just let him relax and just like sit in the pocket. Because I think Everplus was talking about something during the week where when he did that run or whatever it was, they were saying he should have stayed in the pocket a little longer. I'm like, yeah, when you get sacked 30, 40 times a year, it still take a minute for you to get used to knowing that you got some help.
That's an interesting point.
Guy, excellent point. Yeah, when quarterback, the thing with the quarterback is you do have to be able to make quick decisions. And I said that when I saw him come out in the draft that I thought he might have been analytical, and I had made some comparisons to early on in Alex Smith's career. That's what I thought was with Alex Smith. I thought Alex Smith was very analytical, right? And he was overthinking all the plays, and he wanted safe plays, right?
You
Like,
want to be cute
okay,
too.
no, yeah, I know it's 3rd and 7, but I'll just take this 4-yard check down because it's not a turnover, right? Something safe. And
Right.
it wasn't until you got to Kansas, KC, when he started letting the ball fly. And I believe this is where Justin is going to, other than some of the fundamentals he still had to work on, but just being able to just trust what you see and understand
Right.
what is open in the NFL. Open in the NFL is not the same as what's open in college. I know everybody's watching do know that, but it's not the same. I mean, you throw a guy open. I mean, maybe about the distance between my two shoulders is open in the NFL if you throw it on time. You get lucky every once in a while, or you get some burners who are going to get that separation. But you got to remember those DBs on the other side. A lot of those guys run 4.2s and 4.3s too. So
Mhm.
you're not just gonna be taking off and just get that, but you may run some route combinations that get that separation that you see. But I thought he was efficient enough in the few snaps he had. I like the fact that they went for it on 4th down in
Yep.
that
Good play.
series because they wanted to get a score. Yeah. What I did see offensively, I thought there was some times where the blocking wasn't that great. I did think Larry Bourne got was getting off the ball a little slow in the
Yeah.
game early on, where he was not extending his arm fast enough, and he was kind of getting back into the quarterback a little bit. But that's just a little, I know he's only his 2nd year, but I still overall kind of like what I saw offensively. But like I say, they still got a lot of work to do offensive line, but it wasn't that bad. But it's hard to judge about what I'm seeing from Seattle. But
Hmm.
you know what? A win, we know that they definitely gonna win tonight. We've looked at some
Yeah.
preseasons
Hope
over the
so.
last few years where offensively, when you
Yeah.
watch the Bears offense, you was like, man, I hope it improve.
Right.
We saw some seasons where they wasn't even getting anything into the 3rd string got in the 4th quarter.
Hmm. Hey,
You're
you know
right.
what though? I would tell you something about your boy, Mr. Sanborn. He ain't gonna have the same numbers as he had last year, but I'm looking at a couple plays, and it's like he's either on the play or he's right by the play. Dude is hungry,
Really.
man. I like I said, I like what I see. I mean, but people need to be patient, man, because what you're thinking about is you're thinking about an NFL team that just totally just completely washed their offense and they turn the defense from a 3-4 to a 4-3. It's not like they just gonna walk in here and just look like some savants out here. Even if guys are running the scheme, you still gotta know the cadence, you still gotta know your teammates as far as what their strengths and weaknesses are for them to actually completely implement what they're doing right now. It's going to probably take 2 years, but they've got a coach that's smart enough to know, okay, these are the basic plays. This is what we're going to do. We're going to pull out the playbook, but the basic plays, we're going to keep running them until you're doing perfectly. So, you know,
Yeah,
I'm okay
speaking
with
of
that.
that, I want to throw a shout out as well to Jack Sanborn from Lake Zurich High School.
Yes,
Just
sir.
a couple years ago, they were playing for the state championship. That young man is a tackling machine. All he does is puts himself in position and makes the tackle, which I like that. He may not be as fast as some of the
Mhm.
other linebackers, but some kind of way he's always in position to make a play. So I'm actually liking him, and I'm hoping he actually makes the squad. hopefully he gets a chance to go to second string, if not, be one of the part-time starters. So he's very good from a linebacker perspective. Back to Justin Fields, not to beat on a dead horse, but it seems like to me you can tell that he's processing, and he's really trying to work so hard to do well that he's making something that's very simple be very difficult. And I know it's at the NFL level, it's a very intricate game, and all these nuances make a difference. But he got to remember at some point, you just playing pitch and toss. Let me
Yeah,
give you
but
an example. A lot of times at work, before I go on and do a presentation, I'm always nervous. I mean, I'm fidgeting up till 2 seconds before I do my presentation. As soon as it starts, everything just gets quiet, and I look up and I'm 2 hours in and I'm already done. So at some point you kind of realize this is what I do, this is who I am, and quit making it be so complex. Let's just get out here and play. So I'm looking forward to him being able to do that.
yeah, it's a difference between
Okay.
guys thinking they're good and guys that want to be good. I think Justin really wants to be that dude. The one
Sure.
question he has, they showed this one play when he completed that pass, that back shoulder fade last week. So that guy, they were all of the guys who do like different shows as quarterbacks, whatever. They were pointing out this play. They were like, he got that in his bag. This dude I mean, the dude is infinitely talented, but I think he wants to do so well, so bad that he tends to sort of try to, I guess, microplay. He tries to be intricate. Okay, this has to be perfect. Nothing's going to be perfect. He's understanding it. I think he's processing it, and he has a lot. And then being your one quarterback who's the general of the squad, man, sometimes, if you really want to be great, you're going to make some mistakes. As long as he trusts the process, man, I think he's going to be good, though.
Well, you know what? One of the things that I noticed with him, and I don't worry about him on downfield throws. He seems to have a very good touch. Gets on his second and third reads. What it seems like he's doing to me is rushing these quick, easy throws. A
Yeah.
lot of times you've seen these screens, a quick throw to the running back, and it gets on the running back a little bit too fast. That's kind of the nuances that he's got to kind of figure his way through. I have no problem with him with downfield throws. He's got quite an arm, and he's got good vision as well. I'm looking forward to see what happens when he gets some of his weapons back. I know everybody in the NFL is talking about the Bears are going to come in last, and we're not doing well. That's not the team that I see. I see a team that's competitive. I don't know if we're gonna make the playoffs and all of that, but I expect them to put forth an effort. And at the end of the day, I think it's going to be an effort that I as a fan will be proud of.
Okay. Hey, I'd like to thank everybody who's watching us tonight on YouTube and Facebook. And also, if
Hey,
you have not subscribed to Bearsbanter on YouTube, push the subscribe button at below. Subscribe today. We're looking to get 400 more followers or subscribers on YouTube. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of season 3. Hey, let's go back to the game itself. I did see some good things out of the receiving core as well today. It's very promising, some of the stuff I'm seeing in this game. And I know it's just preseason, but I'm telling you, for teams who come off bad back-to-back seasons, to come through preseasons and you got two W's, you starting out with 2 W's. And if you look at, like Plank, I was mentioning the Baltimore Ravens on how they win most of their preseason games. And like I say, it may not mean nothing sometimes to us as fans, or maybe in the teams who are used to winning. But when you start developing bad habits, like I was saying
right.
last week, with losing, it becomes part of your culture. And to see
Right.
the Bears come out and compete tonight has been very encouraging. And hey, Velus Jones, he look like he's going to break some this year in that punt or kickoff game. I mean,
Yeah.
he's fearless when he get that ball running it. But what do you think about Velus, the little bit you saw from him tonight, guy?
You know what? Velus Jones is the guy. If you understand what his resume is, he did 4 years at USC and he left. He still had a year. Well, he had a year of eligibility and he goes to Tennessee. You got a 25-year-old rookie right now. What does that mean? And people say, "Oh, it doesn't make a difference." It makes a huge difference. He's a 25-year-old guy. He's very mature, sort of like you know when you're 18 and you can't wait to get to be 21. When you're 21, for the most part, you're not responsible because you're too busy telling everybody how grown you are and how legally grown. He's very solid. He's like the rookie vet. He knows how to prepare. He knows how to come in and be attentive. And he also understands the opportunity that he has. I mean, this dude right here, man, I've got nothing but wonderful things to say about this cat because you know what? You don't hear all this. You don't hear all this chest popping out. It's like, look, let me put my helmet on. Let me do my thing. Let me just let my game talk. And I can tell you right now, in these last two games, if I had to pick one guy who was that dude, as far as the guy that I can look for the season that on a big play, if he's out there, that's that dude. He's a man. It's almost like I don't want to say an anomaly, but it's a rarity. You got a 25-year-old guy that comes in and knows his job and is great, and it don't hurt that he got what 4.1, 4.2 speed. So if he catch the ball, you 2 yards behind him, it's a wrap. I'm really pulling for him, man. That's my guy. I like him. I really do.
All right. Hey, thank you. I see you got a note out there. Good evening, guys. They're looking pretty good so far.
All right.
Thank you. I'm sorry we can't see your name. It says Facebook user, but thank you for your comment and thank
Who you
everybody
is?
watching it. Like who is that?
Who you is? Who that is?
I'll tell
Who
you
that
what,
is?
Bernard. I think the offensive line did a decent job. I mean, it looked like they were being rushed, but again, some of that might have been phantom pressure. One name I didn't hear called again tonight, Braxton Jones. So that young man is out there on an island, playing that left tackle, and it seems like he's just handling it. Also,
Yep.
Cole Kmet looked good today. He really
Yeah.
did. Hey, Sharon Patterson, that's who it is.
What's up,
That's it.
Sharon?
Belated birthday, Sharon.
Happy
Yeah, happy
belated.
belated birthday, Sharon.
I think she's what 20, 26 now, 27.
26,
Okay, I'm
27,
She ain't
yeah.
that old. She only
okay.
22.
Yeah,
There
she
you go.
finally can rent a car.
I love what you just said about that, though, Plank. Real talk. I really, really do, man. I think it's interesting. It's something that I saw as a fact that, as I said, first string, second string, third string. They run the same plays. They're doing the same schemes, but they're still able to move the ball. It's not right. Like I tell people, it's not rocket science. It's like, you know what? Believe the play that you're going to run. It's going to work. And as he was talking about the offensive line, something I saw, because Tevin, as y'all know, last year, Tevin's my guy, and I was feeling kind of bad because they own him and he was doing his thing. I actually honestly think that the reason why he was out there had nothing to do with coaches. I think that because when you get a guy who comes in as a rookie and he had back surgery, they didn't want to have any type of, well, is he going to be healthy? I think he was having a little bit of issues, but something I saw that he did that I really liked is he took on his block and he saw that his guy was secure and completely out the play to the left. He turns around and doubles on this other guy and frees our guy to run. That type of stuff right there, man, he might be our guard. He might be.
You know what? If it's him versus Schofield, I absolutely hope he is our guard.
That's like me at Schofield.
Hey, Greg,
Schofield.
it's interesting, Plank, that you mentioned that Braxton Jones' name has not been called these two games.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just recently, even on our page, that and we got to see how the season, let me say, pan out. But there was some people who actually was like, "Are y'all serious? Braxton Jones might start?" Well, he's looking like he's earning that part. He might have went to he went to Southern Utah. I'm trying to remember, was it Southern Utah? I believe that's where he came from, but he's looking the part. As an offensive lineman, if your name is not being called, that means
That's a beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing, right? Because your name is not being called for penalties, is not being called because you're getting blown back or you missed assignments, that means you're doing what you're supposed to do. And that's why your name is not being called. So I've been impressed with Braxton Jones through these 2 games. He looked like he's going to be a solid fit for for a starter. And I seen John Muhammad had just made a comment that once the O-line gets the offense, we'll take off. And I believe that's definitely going to be true. Like I said, the running game looks solid. And I believe this coaching staff is going to rely heavily on the run game, which makes sense. It makes sense because I hate to keep going back to a previous regime, but it is what it is. It was too many times where you were in running situations and you just ran, like you was not calling the game in front of you. You was just looking at a play sheet and just calling plays. And so to even double down on it, you come back in the press conference and say, hey, they didn't bring me here to run the I formation. Well, if the I formation would get you third and short, then run it. I mean, why would you not run it if that's what's going to work? You have to do, okay, there's Southern Utah. Yeah, you have to call a game that's in front of you. And like I said, I thought these 2 games, like I said, I know it's not a lot of planning for preseason, but like I said, we've watched preseason games in the last few years where you were scratching your head about almost everything offensively. I mean, can't even get a touchdown or not getting first down. I want to say going back to even though the 2018 season, I think, came out well. That preseason, if I remember correctly, I don't know what the scores were, but I remember some of those preseason games that year where I was just like, man, maybe this guy Mitch is the wrong guy because it just looks so awful in preseason. So preseason does have its place for players, and I hope they can work out what's going on with Roquan Smith. I do believe he's not going to sit out because if he was going to sit out, I don't think he would actually be at the sideline in these games. He wouldn't be at practice. So I know,
he just got away. Sorry.
Okay.
We almost got safety.
You got delay in your game. Like, come on. Yeah. So hey, what? I know we talked about this last week, but do any of y'all getting any positive vibes about the Roquan Smith situation?
Not really. You know what? The problem is this. I mean, I kind of expressed on
we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, before I get to the Roquan Smith thing, I wanted to talk a little bit more about offense, just to put a couple of a bow on that. The offense is going to look a lot better, especially during the first game in the regular season, for 2 big reasons. One, we're going to have Patrick back. He's a mauler as a center, and he's much better at the point of contact than Mustipher. We remember we couldn't run last year behind Mustipher either because he's not strong enough physically at the point of contact. Number 2, David Montgomery's going to be back. Khalil Herbert doesn't look like the same beast he was last year, and some of that may have something to do with the inefficiency of the offensive line. But I think those 2 things are going to pay a big dividends when we get into the season. Now, Roquan Smith, this brother he's a good guy. He's a good player. He's a great player, but he's overvaluing himself. And not only is he doing that, first of all, he wants to be the highest paid linebacker in the NFL. That's fine. Nothing wrong with wanting that. But the way that he's going about doing that is like he's a defendant in a capital murder case, and he's the one that gets up there and wants to be his own lawyer. That's absurd to do that. So he's missing so many things by not having an agent. And he's messed around and also got the Bears in a situation where the entire team is now in jeopardy. The entire organization is going to be punished because of some foolishness that he has done. So Roquan Smith's going to need to either have somebody talk to him, give him a dose of clarity or what have you. He doesn't really have a whole lot of parts to play in this scenario, from my opinion. What you got, Bernard? What you got, guy?
You know what? And real quick, Mustipher seemed like that type of dude that his girl's other boyfriend get the name Nate Keaton. You know what I'm saying? But you
You're
know
wrong for
what?
that, man.
I'm sorry, man, but anytime, hey, you know what?
Oh,
You can't even be a habitual line stepper when you can't even watch people getting over the line. But you know what? As I said before, I think a lot of people, and I was telling you guys that I say, you know what? I never get in a grown man's bag. I understand that Roquan has been doing his thing since April as far as trying to negotiate a contract. He still has a year left. I know he wants to. I kind of agree with Plank in that respect that he is kind of overvaluing himself. But nevertheless, the bigger picture is the fact that you want to have a guy like that in your lineup. You want to have him happy. Um, they offer him like $95 million with some incentives and stuff like that. And to be quite frank with you, uh, my whole thing is if you're gonna get this $95 million contract, which puts you number three of the three highest paid linebackers, even with incentives, that would be some stuff for me to think that, hey, you know what? I was going to join this firm and my CEO still don't make as much as I do right now. One. So the money really ain't the issue. I think it's more of a pride issue that you want to be known as one of, if not the highest paid linebacker. Go out there and play. Lead the team in tackles. Do what you do. You going to get the money. But by the same token, when it comes to this whole situation, I mean, it is what it is. The show goes on. I like what the regime is doing. It's like I think people have. It is kind of a segue into this. People are talking about different depth charts, and I know people disagree with what they saw, whatever. But let's look at it this way. You didn't have that last year. If you were a rookie, you wasn't getting no reps. You was getting very few reps. This guy comes in and says the best 11 players on each side of the ball plus special teams is going to start. I don't care if you just walked in here or I don't care if you're a 14-year vet. Let's look at and see what they're doing. And I think that Eberflus deserves to have that because for what I've seen in these two games, we're able to move the ball. One. Number two, all three different levels of squads, first, second, and third string, they're all able to do something. And the second string last year played better than the first string. And this route looks like the second and third string is doing it. Just let these guys play. Let the management deal with the Roquan situation. It's here. We know it's a distraction. We understand that, but it is what it is. Because if he don't have a contract by the game one, he'll be suiting up. It's just the fact that if they wait to the end of the year, he's going to be a free agent or whatever, and they'll be able to do whatever. So let's just not even, not that we don't care, but I just think that it's more important to look at what we got here because he's going to show up.
yeah, I don't think Roquan
Okay.
Smith is going to
And
take
I'm gonna
us
have to
all the
send
way
Felicia.
into. No, go ahead. Go ahead,
Oh, I
Bernard.
was about to say I'm gonna have to send Felicia the link and tell Felicia to get online. Come on
Ain't no,
now,
Come
come
Felicia.
on,
on,
Send the
girl.
girl.
link.
Come on. What?
Because y'all, outside me, of course, because I'm the only bastard out here. We're very Divine Nine friendly.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Hey, you got a little
Everybody
RoboCop
froze.
going on right
Almost
there.
like
Yeah, it kind of froze up on you. As far as Roquan,
yeah, I said we're very
I hope
Divine
they
Nine
do.
friendly.
Okay. Hey, Felicia, I just put hold on, here it is right here, Felicia. If you want to come on, here's the link for you. Hold on, I'm sending it to you. You should see it on YouTube. But anyway, the Roquan Smith situation, I hope it does work out sooner than later because you do need to get reps with the other players as well. I mean,
You
one of
do.
the things I should say one thing, but the thing in sports is the chemistry in the team. You got to have chemistry with a team. It's things that you do in any sport that is based off. I know we always joke about the Allen Iverson comment. You're talking about practice? Yeah, we're talking about practice.
Right.
Practice does make a difference. It does. The chemistry is developed, and to have a player right now who's playing in your position all through this training camp, then all of a sudden you get to game one, and then you inserting in the guy that's the starter. You're gonna be a little rusty. You're gonna be a little slow, and you had to come up to speed. And like I always say about us as fans, we're thump for you to get your money, But soon as you do one bad play, we getting the lynch mob out for you. Now, just a few seconds ago, I actually saw Daz Newsome. I want to say this real quick. I just saw a few minutes ago, Daz Newsome just fumbled a punt. I think he's working his way off this team. What you say, Plank? What you got, Plank?
He's gone. With Roquan Smith, you're right. He does need some reps, but keep in mind that he's a linebacker that his entire career, the 4 years he's been here, he's been playing in the 3-4. Now the Bears are going to a 4-3. That's a different animal. So he's definitely got to still get out there, get some reps. And not only that, he's switching from a 3-4 linebacker to a 4-3 linebacker. But he's used to being the micro linebacker, the middle linebacker.
Yep, now he's a Sam guy, right?
Now they want to move him to the wheel side linebacker. So that's where the traditional Derek Brooks played in the Tampa 2. The wheel can affect a much better changes on the offense than any other position from a linebacker's perspective. So all that's just to say is that Roquan Smith hasn't been acclimated in the Eberflus defense yet. So that's something he needs to actually get his head down and start working towards. So let's see what's going to happen. Felicia, you think the Seahawks are trying to get in the game?
Yeah, they look like they just scored, but they got a long way to go. I know we go at Lindblom. I know we was pretty good at math, but they're gonna have to be some rocket scientists to catch up in this game.
You're starting to look at the Pythagorean theorem to get them back in the game. That's a little bad.
Hey, but yeah, exactly. Because we want, and like you said, Roquan, we wanted to get in there because we don't want to be Sam.
Okay. What you say, Bernard?
Oh, I was gonna say, I believe this score they just got from kind of glancing up at the screen was they was given a short field by fumble by Dez Newsome on a punt.
That's playing his way out of the spot.
Sound like
he's playing his way out of the spot.
Groceries next week.
Yeah, I guess we know who's gonna get the donuts for the meeting on Monday.
No, he ain't gonna be at the meeting on Monday. Well, I guess Tuesday's cut day. So,
they gonna get him to get the donuts, but when he come to dough, they just gonna take the box and say, "You can take a day off." Man, thanks, Holmes.
Glazed jelly donut, boy. You got the wrong one.
I would really like to get somebody on here, maybe Jason, to talk about kind of what you just hinted at. In the NFL, I believe if you are cut by a certain day, you don't even get your check for the week. I want to say it's Thursday.
You can't do that to no black dude. You can't do that to no black dude. You got to give him some coffee.
And I think about you saying I'm getting the donuts. I heard this one player talking about a few years ago that the team sent him to. It wasn't a Bears player. They sent him to this event at a school to represent the team. So he was like, okay, so he getting me like, man, they sent me here, right? They gonna keep me. I think it might have been the Ravens. And he said when he got back, they told him to go to the coach office. And he said he was so pissed because they cut him the day, whatever the day it is of the week, they cut him just in time where he would not get a check. But they sent him to represent the team at an event. So he's like, that's cold-blooded, man. That's cold-blooded. But Daz, if you don't get it together, you will be getting the donuts and be on that practice squad. And I don't even know if this squad
turnover
particular staff would actually get you on the practice squad. I mean, they didn't invest in you, and there were higher expectations in Daz Newsome. I know I had high expectations for him last year, and now through 2 preseasons, he has not shown anything at all.
Yeah, but it's not like we had a greatest wide receiver core anyway. So, he has ample opportunities to make this squad. They're going to give him every chance they can to make this squad. And, I think last week he messed up on a punt return and he kind of redeemed himself by coming back and catching a touchdown. He can't do this every week. So this is currently the competitive time, and he's shown himself to be a bit of a liability, especially in special teams play. That's probably where he has the best opportunity to make the squad. So if he's making all of these mental mistakes, fumbling the ball, etc., on the special teams, chances are he's not going to be on. He's not going to be on the squad even as early as next week.
Basically. Hey, and another update. We fumbled the ball, and they just went through a pass. And who is this number 26? He grabbed guy, got a pass interference. So they got a 1st and 10 on like the 25-yard line.
What's
Not
the
that it
score?
matters. 27-11. It looked like they might be trying to score the 2-minute warning.
I
But
like
you know
my
what?
chances.
On something like on that same vein of what you guys are talking about, I heard this show called Roast Me where this guy at the snap and said, dude got fired for being musty. We got somebody that's musty that still got a job. His name is Sam. So that's not true. But man, yeah, it's wow.
So we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up in a few minutes, but I'm going to reach out to Felicia. I know she's a
Felicia,
football,
come on the show.
Bears
Come on,
fan,
girl.
so.
Come on,
Yeah, we're
Mr.
gonna have to get
Felicia.
Felicia. We trying to get Sharon Patterson. We trying to get who else is out there? Christy
Warlock.
Tammy can't be the only lady talking about football. What's that plan?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, y'all. Women, come on, you got to represent. Bring it on. We more than happy to see you here. We definitely encourage your input. We know that you're from Western and Lindblom and what have you, so we know you're smart. Come on here and let's just talk. You're just talking to your boys like any other time. We're looking forward to it.
And they mad at you because you're right.
Well, there's that.
For sure,
hey, so
man,
hey,
for
let me pop in this real quick, this break right quick, and then we're gonna close out. I don't know why this system is rusty. Yeah.
Hey, ladies, come join us in Costa Rica. See the sun glistening off my nice chocolate body. Okay, or whatever.
Right.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
Hey, Frank said, come join him in Costa Rica, July 20th to July 24th, 2023. And hey, look what what's up, Crystal? Crystal right here.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey,
right.
Hey, look. We just, our invitation has just been accepted by Felicia.
Come on, girl.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's what we're talking about right there. That's what we're talking about. But anyway, we're gonna wrap up. I know we're a lot to talk about tonight.
Real quick, man.
So that's
on something not funny. Hey, go ahead. Hey, real quick, man. It kind of hit me real hard. One of my lodge brothers, man, brother Tony Shaw, man, he lost his youngest son the other day. My condolences and prayers to his family, man. You never want to be someone, you never want to bury your children, man. It's really hard. I love that brother. He already know I got his back, man. Kind of sort of not trying to make it a somber thing, but, I had to send it out for my boy, man. Hey, I love you, Tony. You know where we are, and I got you.
Okay. Yeah, condolences to your family.
Condolences to Tony's family. Mm-hmm. Also, I want to send a shout out to Emerson Bowie Jr., who is officially retired in Chicago. Yep. Returned from the FBI. He did 30 years with the FBI. Zim is a good friend of ours, went to high school with us. Some of us, he went to grammar school with us. And he was fortunate enough to take over the FBI in Chicago as agent in charge. And
did a good
tomorrow
job,
is officially his last day. So I know Zim watches. Zim actually been on the show a few times. He actually can't come on the show. So Happy retirement to you, Zim. We'll see you tomorrow. And
I don't think
also,
they
hey, y'all got any
understand though,
closing
B.
remarks before we close out?
Yeah, I
What's
don't
that?
think they
What's that,
understand
guy?
about B. I mean, think about it. He came from Waco prior to that, during
Yeah.
that big deal. Anytime you got a brother in a very high profile set of circumstances and in turmoil on two different places in Waco, Texas, and Chicago, Illinois, and he gets to retire and you don't hear nothing about him in the media getting cussed out and being dogged out, I say it's a win-win. Swoop.
Hey, Zim has been keeping
Okay.
keeping me
You
from
meant,
jumping
El
on people
Paso,
for 40
Stephen.
years. So
He just don't play no Public Enemy songs around you, man. You
well,
start.
that might be best.
So I think
Oh.
the final score is what, 20? Was it 27-11? I think the game is officially over now. No, it's still going on. It's about 1 minute 37 seconds. The Bears winning 27-11. Geno Smith, I see him on the screen right now. Geno Smith's career has been very disappointing to me. I thought I would see a little bit more out of him when he came out. I want to say West Virginia. I want to say that's
right.
where he came from. Yeah, but it's been
Ever
a
since he didn't
disappointing
pay
career.
that guy for that gambling debt and the guy broke his jaw, his career's been down.
Right, that's what his
But he
teammates,
still
right?
get a check. He
You a
still get a
millionaire, you
check.
gonna owe somebody $100, man. Just give that dude his money, man. Come on.
Give that man his money. Gino looked like his name should be Gino too.
Hey, one of the
What'd you say,
best
Nog?
gigs in the NFL is to be the best gig in the NFL is to be the third string quarterback, not the second string, the third string.
The third string.
Because you know what, the third string guy could be around the league.
Uh-oh.
20 years.
He just scored another touchdown.
That's just to make the line on Vegas right. That's all.
This Fuller kid just scored a touchdown. It was Aaron Fuller.
No. I think that's gonna be ruled a drop because he lost control of the ball.
Shoot.
He I don't think he completed the process of a catch.
Yeah,
play by play, real time breakdown. Look at that.
Hey, so I got a Bears jersey. I got a Bears jersey for my job because we had some type of thing going on for all the new offices that we got. I got number 11, but on the back it says Sao Paulo. It's one of our offices, so I ain't gonna turn my back. So y'all could just say I got a Mooney jersey on.
It's all good.
Yes. Hey, as far as the deposit is due by August 31st. You actually could go on the website www.epsilonbeta.org and you'll be able to see the information and make your deposit. I see. Hey, what's up, Lavelle? Lavelle saying bear down.
Lavelle.
There you go,
what's up, brother?
All right.
Come on.
Hey, so
come to Costa Rica with us. See the sun glistening off our bodies.
I want to make love to you, warm on. I want to sit you down by the fire. You like Chef from South Park. That was my role model, man.
Hey, thank everybody. Thank everybody who tuned in tonight to Bearsbanter. So we'll see you next week. Peace. Hey, everything been on a delay tonight.
Hey, you know what? I got an idea, B. At the end of the season, we ought to just tell people to kind of meet up.